Hi and welcome to fuelforsuccess.com. My name is MD Ahmed and today we're going to talk about energy. Now you see, a lot of us have been asked to conserve energy, save energy. I'm talking about electricity. The government spends a lot on ads asking us to conserve this particular kind of energy. There are NGOs, there are awareness programs and all that. But then there is something else. Now this energy is your personal energy, and if you're looking at being incredibly productive and experiencing life to the fullest, you got to understand that your personal energy matters a lot. Now when you don't maintain this personal energy, okay, and it gets dissipated, it gets evaporated, and you're left with very less energy at the end of the day or throughout the day, then you wouldn't be able to live life to the fullest. You may be, maybe a VP of some company, you may be the CEO or CFO, or maybe a project manager or a homemaker or a student or a business person. Now one thing that you and I need to understand is we got to maintain our energy levels. Now how do we do that? Because once our energy starts getting invested in the things that are not good for us, in the things that cause us tension, leading to stress, chronic stress, and a lot of mental issues and all that. Before this happens, it is always better that we learn how to manage our personal energy and invest it in the right pockets of life so that we live our life to the fullest in almost all the areas that we choose to. I'm going to talk about 5 things you can do starting today. And the moment you start doing this, you should be able to conserve your energy, start investing it, and reap, the fruits of the right investment made. All right. So the first thing that I want you to understand is we tend to forget being original. Now you see, being original. Now what do I mean by that, being original? A lot of people, they have this notion. They say being original is something that you have heard as a child or maybe as a teenager. You develop certain patterns of being and certain habits, right? And that is what you think is your originality. Now, the originality that I am talking about is being childlike, your original form when you were born. The Bible, I think, I'm a student of, scriptures and all that. I'm not a pro, I'm not a master, I'm an amateur. But then I read this in the Bible, I'm paraphrasing it. Unless you are childlike, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, the way I look at it is, unless you are childlike, that means to say, unless you go back to your originality. If you look at being childlike is being, look at a child, look at the attributes of a child. We quite often look at the attributes of big leaders, industry leaders, be it Elon Musk, or be it Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, the boxer, or be it Sachin Tendulkar, the legendary Sachin Tendulkar. So we look at all these people who have achieved a lot to learn from them. It's good. But then one area that we can look at to become or to experience life to the fullest, experience the kingdom that is within us, is the attributes of a child. Now, if you look at the attributes of a child, you will see that a child is non-judgmental. A child does not resist. Now, this is very important because you see, the resistance that we have inside us that causes tremendous amount of commotion, friction inside that eats away a lot of your energy. Okay, now whatever you're trying to resist, you're resisting because maybe you want to prove something to yourself or maybe to others. Maybe somewhere deep inside you feel that you're losing authority, right? And you want to regain that control over a particular situation. All right, so you have this resistance. And whenever you catch yourself using words or lines like, I must do that, I should do that. So this indicates that you're actually resisting something. Not always, but most of the times, you're actually resisting something. I must do that. Deep inside you have this resistance towards a particular activity and you're forcing yourself. So this resistance eats away a lot of your energy, and you are left fatigued, you are left stressed, and you wouldn't maybe even breathe fully. Forget about living fully. We develop these shallow breathing patterns because of the resistance. So what do? Number one is you let go of your resistance. Yes, you let go of your resistance. So when you resist, you also engage in behaviors like, let's say if you're a student and you resist studying mathematics or history, so you end up procrastinating it, right? And then when you procrastinate it, the pressure is building. You need to finish your project work. If you're an employee, the pressure is building. So you tend to use your willpower and the power of your discipline. Now, willpower is a part of your conscious brain, and you have only so much every single day. Not many people are aware of this. So when you drain your willpower too soon, and if you end up using it a lot, then you wouldn't have a lot of willpower left by the end of the day to enjoy the activities after coming back home from school, college, or your office. So now you're using this. Willpower is a kind of a struggle. It's like being stubborn. It's a kind of a struggle. It's like being rigid. You're very inflexible. And that is what resistance is all about. I don't want to do that. God, why am I even doing it? So you force yourself to do it. So that force indicates a lot of exertion of a lot of willpower and discipline and all that, and that eats you away from within. And sometimes when you are also in a conversation, a lot of people choose to be right than choose to be happy. When you engage in a conversation with your colleague, with your partner, with anybody in your life, so it's always better that you choose to be happy instead of right. That means to say sometimes you will have to let go of that argument, or maybe lose that argument because you want to be happy. But then most of us want to be right than be happy. Okay, and there are people who hold on to their self-limiting beliefs that were created in the past inside their head. All right, now these beliefs also create a lot of resistance inside your brain. For example, maybe you have this limiting belief that you are not a good public speaker and you have a presentation to do, and then you become a nervous wreck because of this limiting belief, right? So all these come together, create this friction inside you, a tremendous amount of resistance inside you, and this resistance eats away your energy. And life is made up of energy. If you want to live your life, experience your life, you've got to feel energetic, right? So tip number one is let go. Just let go. So if this is what resistance is, there is this conflicting ideas, or you don't want to do something but you have to do something and you're resisting, okay, just let go. Don't resist. See, when you let go, everything flows freely, right? You got to do the work, you got to do the dishes, but then what is the point resisting? You feel that feeling, feel the feeling and do it anyways. Or maybe, play some songs while doing the dishes, or completely get into it and maybe say to yourself that I'm going to, make the dishes look new. Something like that. Because you have to do it anyway. So what's the point resisting? It creates even more friction, and it's going to eat away your energy. And at the end of the day, you will be the victim of your own choices. You will be the sufferer, and you will be the bearer of your own fruits created by your mind, because you did not want to be childlike. You did not want to be original. It's up to you, because at the end of the day, we are the sum total of the choices that we make. So go ahead, let go of your resistance, right? Do at least 3 things today that you resist, and you just let go. You take a deep breath and you just say, I'm just releasing this. I'm just letting go. Okay? And I'm going to talk about 4 more things that you can do. And the first step to manage your energy and increase the supply of energy was to let go of resistance inside you. Right, you just decide to let go. And the second thing that you can do is you can consciously create space for the universe to fill in positive things for you. Now, what do I mean by that? It's very simple. Now, I do not know if you watch Bollywood movies. There was this movie called Rockstar, and there's this dialogue in this movie. Image is everything, and everything is image. Now, what I tell people is energy is everything, and everything is energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. So we are energy. We are surrounded by energy. So creating space is uncluttering your spaces. Now, you start off with the physical uncluttering of things around you. You can start off with opening your wardrobe and looking at your unused clothes. Maybe if you haven't worn something for more than a year, give it away. Empty your wardrobe. Empty the spaces, things that you don't use. Open your drawers. Just look at the drawers. Your wife has been telling you, or maybe your husband or your kids must be telling you that you just happen to keep things though you don't use them, and they collect dust and all that. So now, one good thing that you can do in order to feel very energetic is you create space, especially at home, wherever you live. So unclutter it, open the drawers, look at your wardrobes, and make sure that there is no dust. I just happened to clean this room today. I felt amazingly good after I did that, and there was this kind of a shift. I felt happy inside, and that is positive energy. Right? And I'm sure when you have done this too, you must have felt this. The moment you clean your room up, and when you do that, you suddenly feel a shift in your energy. So 3 things here: unclutter, okay, give away all those things that you're not using, and number 2, make sure that you dust your corners properly and your windows and all that, keep them clean. And number 3 is keep everything spick and span clean. Right? So once that happens, once you create the space, the universe tends to fill in those spaces with positive energy, or maybe with more abundance, maybe things that you desire the most. Right? When you let go of that old car that you have been a car that you don't want to have, but you still have it, empty it. I did that once. I was driving this car and I did not want to give it. But then when I learned this lesson that I have to empty my parking space to have another car there, right? So when I gave that car away, after a couple of months, I happened to buy a new car where the parking space that was empty, it got filled with a new car with more abundance. So that is a power, and this will uplift your energy. So go ahead. Use tip number 2. Now moving on to the third and simple tip is keeping a tab on your television time. I'm not asking you to totally give up on television. If you can, it's good, but then if you can't, then it's fine. But then keeping a tab is very important, because usually what happens is a lot of people, when they're stressed, they just gaze at the television without any purpose, without any interest whatsoever. They're just there. It's more like a zombie sitting on the sofa and receiving these rays from the television that affect you at a physiological level. It affects your body, right? And you're just lost somewhere. So the moment that happens is it makes you extremely tired, and especially the channels that produce, these production houses, they produce this product called fear. They package it really nicely, and I'm talking about a lot of news channels do that. A lot of news channels, they are experts in exporting fear into us. So this thing actually affects us at the deepest level. It affects our DNA structure. I'm talking about our cellular level. In fact, today we have enough evidence that our thoughts affect our DNA. Now, when you start producing these fatigued and stressful thoughts and passively sit in front of the television, this would drain your energy out. So decide on what programs you're going to watch, that you can engage in, and make sure that those programs uplift you, put a smile on your face, right? And do not, snatch energy away from you. Okay, so the third tip is Going forward, make sure that you keep a tab on your television time. I've seen households where the television is on like for 24 hours. They turn it off just before going to sleep, and then they turn it on as soon as they wake up. So it's just on. It's on. It doesn't matter who's watching it and who's not watching it, but the television is on. It's a very dangerous and a negative environment to create for ourselves and our families. And it definitely spreads the energy that you and I wouldn't want to experience in life. So go ahead, television time. Your television can be sucking your energy up. Don't let it. Take back control. When I do my seminars and all that, I talk for about 12 to 14 hours. And if you were a part of any of my events, you know that I go on and on and on for 12 to 14 hours. And with the same level of energy, when I start at 9 o'clock, tremendous amount of energy jumping on the stage. And I remain the same till 10 o'clock in the night. And people wonder as to how I managed to do that. And whatever I'm sharing with you, I practice this personally. I call them wise and informed choices. There are a lot of people in this world who have left their wisdom for us to absorb and learn through books. That is what I keep doing. I wouldn't say that these are my ideas and all that, no. But then, yes, I keep reading a lot. So that has helped me have certain insights and distinctions. That has enabled me to lead a balanced life. And it has also helped me help others. So let's move on to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is, I call this getting off the grid. Okay, getting off the grid. It's like we are all in this matrix, right? We always have this phone with us. It's as though we have married the phone and our spouses have taken a back seat. And our phones are more important to us than anything else. Our phone goes everywhere, even to the EWC in the morning, isn't it? So going off the grid is where you respect yourself to a level that you understand the game of energies, where you understand how critical energy is, because everything is made up of energy. This is not what I say. This is what Einstein says. And this is what, if you explore the scriptures, this is what the scriptures tell you, that everything is made up of the same material, that is vibrating packets of energy. When you go off the grid, and when you understand the importance of having at least 60 minutes a day for yourself, nobody else but yourself. And those 60 minutes are not you to think of work, to think of your children, your commitments, responsibilities. No. These 60 minutes will be exclusively to be in the present moment, to breathe fully, experience life, right? Or maybe think of good thoughts, think of all the good things that you can do, and all the good things that are happening in your life. So spending 60 minutes without getting online, without having your phone with you. You can go out for a walk in the woods. You can go out and play in the rain if it's raining, right? Just doing the stuff that you love. Maybe pick that guitar up, it's collecting dust, and hit a few strings to produce that thing called music, right? So go ahead, do something that you feel relaxes you. So the moment you do that, you tend to work on your mind, you tend to work on your body, and it affects your energy levels. So tip number 4 is getting off the grid. So tip number 5 is stay away from energy hackers. Now, you know what a hacker is in a negative sense, right? A hacker is someone who unethically hacks into your system, steals your data, and damages the computer, and also damages your bank balance. Maybe we have people around us. I call them energy hackers. Now what these people do is they hack into your brain, they hack into your mind, right? Corrupting your mind, poisoning your mind, talking and about other people, about your boss and about your, colleague, and about your boyfriend, about your girlfriend, about your wife, about your husband, about your kids and all that. Now, these gossip-ridden people in your life, all right, it's always better that you avoid them like plague. Okay. Now, you see, I'm not asking you to cut off ties. If you can, it's good. But then I wouldn't suggest that. But then you can always, maintain distance and ignore them. And what happens is when you shift your energy levels, you automatically, you stop attracting them into your life. You will see that all of a sudden they wouldn't be contacting you. They would just disappear. The moment you change your energy levels, you become more positive, right? I'm not talking about positive thinking. I'm talking about uplifting energy, empowering energy, enabling energy, energy that enables you to live life to the fullest. So the moment you start seeing these people, energy hackers, I do have energy hackers in my life. And what happens is when I tend to have a lot of conversations and start meeting them regularly, I have this awareness that my energy has changed. And that is why I attracted these energy hackers into my life, because maybe I have become one. Okay, so this awareness helps me pull away and then work on my energy levels, use the other 4 tips and all that. And I see somehow mysteriously, in a very enigmatic fashion, these people just disappear into thin air. Okay, so be be careful of these energy hackers. Make a list as to who they are and make sure that you delete that list. Okay, so make a mental list and make sure that you stay away. If you're a student or homemaker or a business person, whoever you are listening to this, remember one thing: energy hackers, the moment they hack your mind, they hack into every area of your life, and you might end up getting into the downward spiral. So be very careful. Avoid these hackers. Be your own programmer, all right? And program goodness inside your mind. Change your energy levels. Hope you love this series of how to have unlimited supply of personal energy. I'll see you in another episode with another topic. I'm MD Ahmed, the international author and the founder of fuelforsuccess.com. And I'll see you soon. Take charge of your lives.